One of the most popular sports in the world is football, and for good reason. In addition to being exciting to watch, it may be extremely profitable for the players who reach the top. A career in football can bring money and fame, but it's also something that comes with risks and mistakes that can cost players millions of dollars. In this video, we'll talk about some of the most interesting and common errors football players make and how to prevent them. We'll cover everything from terrible financial planning to bad investments, reckless behavior, poor career choices, and failure to invest in oneself. So whether you're a seasoned football player or just getting started, this video will offer helpful tips on how to safeguard your financial future and avoid costly errors that could have a negative impact on your earnings in the future. Before we begin, make sure you've subscribed to our channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon to keep yourself updated with our regular uploads. Mistake number 1. Insufficient financial planning. Terrell Owens. Poor financial planning is one of the major errors that football players make. Many athletes fail to make financial plans and wind up splurging on opulent mansions, expensive cars, and extravagant lives. They lose money on bad investments since they don't invest in a variety of assets. Long-term losses to participants from this could total millions of dollars. Terrell Owens, a former NFL player, admitted in 2009 that he was penniless and unable to pay child support. Despite earning more than $80 million over the course of his career, Owens was in debt as a result of bad financial decisions. Mistake number 2. Poor investments. Vince Young. Football players also engage in unsuccessful enterprises or endeavors, which is a mistake. Players frequently invest in ventures that appear promising, but because they do not do their homework, they wind up losing their money. Players could lose millions of dollars in bad investments due to this costly error. Vince Young, a former NFL quarterback, declared bankruptcy in 2010 as a result of bad financial decisions, including taking out a $6 million loan to launch his own business. Mistake number 3. Careless conduct. Adam Jones. A lot of football players have also misbehaved recklessly and lost millions of dollars. Gambling, using drugs or alcohol, and other dangerous activities can fall under this category. Players may lose millions of dollars as a result of penalties, suspensions, and legal fees for engaging in such conduct. Adam "Pac-Man" Jones, a former NFL player, encountered numerous legal problems throughout the course of his career, including arrests for assault, disorderly conduct, and public intoxication. Fines, legal costs, and a suspension from the league were the result of these instances. Number 4. Making poor career decisions. Johnny Manziel. Football players also make the error of picking the incorrect career path. Some athletes could decide to sign on with a team that pays less rather than one that pays more but offers less job security. This can be an expensive error because the athlete might get cut from the club and forfeit future revenues. The Cleveland Browns fired former NFL quarterback Johnny Manziel in 2016 as a result of his subpar performance and unruly behavior off the field. Manziel was a highly anticipated prospect coming out of college, but disappointed in the NFL. Mistake number 5. Not having a backup strategy. Chris Borland. Many football players don't have a backup strategy in place in the event that an injury or other circumstance forces them to retire from the game early. As athletes might not have a source of income after their playing career is ended, this can be an expensive error. Players should make plans for the future and have a fallback in place in case their career ends abruptly. Chris Borland, a former NFL player, gave up football after just one season owing to worries about the long-term impact of concussions. Borland struggled to find employment after leaving the NFL because he had not planned for a career outside of sports. Mistake number 6. Failing to invest in oneself. Michael Owen. Former English footballer Michael Owen was renowned for his speed and scoring prowess. He was forced to retire as a result of a number of injuries he had during his playing days. Owen later acknowledged that he hadn't put enough effort to staying fit and prepared, which could have contributed to his injury problems. Many football players don't make the necessary investments in their own personal growth. A player's potential on and off the pitch may be limited if they don't invest in their education and training. Players cannot realize their full potential and lose out on prospective revenue, which can be an expensive error. One of the best players of all time, former Brazilian footballer Ronaldo, was injured multiple times throughout his career, which negatively affected both his performance and longevity. Ronaldo said that he neglected to take care of his body, which resulted in chronic ailments and cut short his career. Mistake number 7. Excessive spending. Ronaldinho. Former Brazilian footballer Ronaldinho, who was renowned for his extraordinary brilliance and skill on the pitch, had financial difficulties as a result of his opulent lifestyle. He was detained in Paraguay in 2020 for entering the country with forged documents. It was later discovered that he owed more than $2 million. Football players can commit the error of overspending. Some gamers might believe that their income would never end, so they spend on very pricey automobiles, jewelry and other opulent possessions. This might be an expensive error because the players might later face serious debt problems and other financial issues. Paul Gascoigne, a former football player from England, noted for his prowess on the pitch, battled alcoholism and a gambling addiction, which caused him to have financial difficulties and declare bankruptcy. Mistake number 8, failing to negotiate contracts. LeSean McCoy. LeSean McCoy, a former NFL running back, signed a $40 million 5-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2014. The Eagles were free to transfer McCoy to any team at any time without his consent because he failed to secure a no-trade clause in his contract. An important aspect of a football player's career is contract negotiation. Some athletes might not negotiate their contract successfully, which would lead to a lower pay and fewer chances to receive incentives and bonuses. Players could lose out on millions of dollars in revenue due to this costly error. McCoy was moved by the Eagles to the Buffalo Bills in 2015, where he failed to replicate his prior success. Later, McCoy acknowledged that his failure to negotiate a no-trade provision in his contract had negatively impacted both his personal and professional lives. McCoy forfeited control over his career and his future by neglecting to negotiate a crucial clause in his contract, which eventually led to a less successful tenure with his new organization. This illustrates the significance of carefully and thoroughly writing contracts to guarantee that all provisions are in the players' best interests and consistent with their career objectives. Mistake number 9, ineffective time management. Javier Mascherano. Another error football players make is poor time management. Players might not be efficient with their time, which could result in missed opportunities and subpar performance on the pitch. Players may miss out on prospective profits and have their reputation in the league damaged if they make this costly error. Javier Mascherano, a former football player from Liverpool and Barcelona, announced his retirement from the game in 2019 at the age of 35. Mascherano acknowledged that his difficulties with time management throughout his playing career were one of the factors leading to his retirement in an interview with the Argentine news site Infobay. Mascherano acknowledged that he struggled to strike his balance between his personal life and obligations and his football career, frequently staying up late and skipping rest and rehabilitation. Additionally, he mentioned that he had a hard time getting used to the tempo of European football, which needed more preparation on both a physical and a mental level than he was accustomed to in South America. This ineffective time management caused Mascherano's effectiveness on the pitch to diminish, which ultimately influenced his choice to quit. In order to sustain peak performance and longevity in a football career, Mascherano's example emphasizes the significance of striking a balance between personal and professional commitments and giving rest and rehabilitation first priority. These instances show how even the most gifted and prosperous football players are capable of making errors that negatively affect their future professional and financial prospects. Football players in the present and in the future can take action to prevent similar problems and achieve long-term success by learning from these instances. In conclusion, football players' blunders can have a big influence on both their professional and personal life. These errors can cost players millions of dollars, jeopardize their careers, and even force early retirement. They range from poor management of money to legal problems, poor time management, and failing to negotiate contracts. However, current and future football players can take these steps to avoid such faults and achieve long-term success and well-being by learning from these examples of famous players who have made these errors. This entails seeking out expert advice and support, carefully negotiating contracts, and placing a priority on one's physical, mental, and sleep well-being. Football players may increase their earning potential, prolong their careers, and ultimately accomplish their objectives both on and off the pitch by doing this.